One of the most popular American pastimes for eating and entertaining in the summer are ribs. And while I love a good traditional Texas or Memphis style barbecue as much as the next guy, I really enjoy the flavors of an Asian inspired pork rib. And P.F.CHANG'S happens to make a killer one. They also serve theirs with a very simple Asian inspired cabbage slaw. And I'm gonna teach you how to do both the P.F.CHANG'S pork spare ribs and their Asian inspired coleslaw, and we're gonna get into it right now. The first thing that we need to do is we need to season these ribs so that we can wrap them and put them in the refrigerator overnight to really bring out all of the flavors. I have here a little over 6 pounds of spare ribs that I've cut into 3 manageable sections. Start with a high quality Chinese 5-spice blend and generously sprinkle the Chinese 5-spice blend over the pork spare ribs. Now rub the spice blend into the pork ribs. Flip the ribs over and season the underside of the ribs with the 5-spice seasoning. Now cover your ribs in heavy-duty foil, and we're going to refrigerate these overnight. The other thing that we want to do the day before is we want to make the tangy barbecue sauce, and we want to make the Asian coleslaw dressing so that the flavors have a chance to meld overnight and become that much more delicioso. So let's start with the tangy Asian barbecue sauce first. In a medium-sized saucepan, add a half of a cup of cold water, 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste, 1/3 of a cup of a premium soy sauce, 1/3 of a cup of tightly packed brown sugar, 1/3 of a cup of rice cooking wine, 2 tablespoons of molasses, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/2 of a tablespoon of cornstarch. Now bring the barbecue sauce to a simmer, reduce your heat to low, and allow the sauce to simmer an additional 10 minutes, stirring frequently so as not to burn the bottom of the sauce. And now let's make the dressing for the coleslaw. Start with 1/2 of a cup of mayonnaise, preferably Duke's. If you know anything about me, you know I'm a Duke's gal. The juice of 1 lime, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 tablespoon of demerara sugar, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, 3 tablespoons of a premium soy sauce, and Hoi Fong brand sriracha. 1 to 2 tablespoons depending on your preference for spicy. And now whisk all of these ingredients together. Now that your ribs are seasoning overnight, your coleslaw dressing is done, and your barbecue sauce is done, you're done for the night. Pour yourself a cocktail. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Place your seasoned ribs into a very large stock pot or your Dutch oven, and then add cold water until the ribs are just covered with the water. Make sure that your lid is very tight fitting, and now braise your short ribs on the center rack at 350 degrees for 2 hours. Now take the ribs out of the braise and put them back onto your sheet tray and slather. Sometimes certain words just work. Okay, so anyways, I'm slathering the ribs, and then to make sure that they get a nice even coat, you want to brush on the sauce. Now we're going to put these ribs back in the oven under the broiler for about 10 to 12 minutes until all of the sugars and everything start to caramelize over the top of the ribs. While the ribs are under the broiler, it's the perfect time to toss the coleslaw in your Asian inspired dressing. The coleslaw at P.F.CHANG'S is a very simple one. Aside from the dressing, of course, it is just green cabbage, purple cabbage, and matchstick carrots. But I kind of like to jazz up my coleslaw a little more. I like to put a little fresh jalapeno in mine because I have a fire tongue, as you know. Of course, some thinly sliced crispy celery is always good. Maybe some red onion, some scallion, thin slices of red pepper. That's always good. So feel free to jazz yours up the way that you like to. We don't have to just keep it, plain Jane. And then just add the amount of dressing according to your personal taste. All right, my friends, here they are out from underneath the broiler. Serve it with a little bit of slaw, and then we're gonna dig in, see how we did. This is actually the stance that's required when you eat an Italian beef in a Chicago beef restaurant. You gotta like stand, you gotta put your elbows up and hunker over the counter. If you know, you know. So I guess I just coined a new thing. Not only is this the Chicago beef sandwich stance, it's also the P.F.CHANG rib stance. I swear to God, I don't know why my husband doesn't suffocate me in the middle of the night. I would if I were him. Absolutely. I wouldn't even think twice about it. In all seriousness though, these definitely need to go on your menu for this upcoming weekend. These things are absolutely the bomb. All right, my friends, thank you for putting up with me for yet another video. And as always, if you have a recommendation or request for a restaurant recipe, drop it in the comments section below. I promise you I'll take a look at it. I always do. And until I see you all again, my friends, make it an awesome, awesome day or weekend or whatever. Just make it awesome. Cheers. I love y'all. And for more recipes from P.F. Chang's, check out right here.